Once upon a time, there lived a young, handsome man named Chike, who had spent years building a successful life for himself in Malaysia. Despite his wealth and achievement, something was missing. It is a wife, a home, a family to share his success with. So, determined to find a life partner, Chike returned to his homeland, Abia State in Nigeria, believing that a true wife was one raised in the values of home. His search led him to Enugu State, when he visited a dear friend of his. There he met a young, beautiful girl, Adaeze by name, a woman of striking beauty and grace. Her laughter was like music, her humility a rare gem. She was everything he had prayed for and everything he had dreamed about. And Adaeze loved him too. Well, so it seemed. After their first meeting, Chike wasted no time. He showered Adaeze with love, gifts, and promise of a future brighter than gold. The traditional wedding was a grand affair. Customs were honored, the bride price paid in full, and blessings poured down from family and elders. The white wedding followed shortly after. It was indeed a fairy tale, the kind of love story that made women dream and men envy. Shortly after their wedding, Chike told Adaeze that he would need to return to Malaysia to finalize some business arrangements and also resume his work, promising to bring her over once everything was settled. Before he left, Adaeze discovered she was pregnant, a development that filled both their hearts with joy. Chike, ever the devoted husband, ensured Adaeze was comfortable, buying her a brand new car, a new apartment, and providing her with everything she needed during her pregnancy and after her pregnancy. Months later, Adaeze gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. Chike, on hearing the news, invited all his friends in Malaysia to celebrate with him. It was a day filled with joy, and the whole family were all happy. Adaeze was happy, Chike was happy, and everything was going on well. Until Adaeze began to feel lonely and abandoned, despite the frequent calls she get from Chike. Her husband was miles away, and whispers began to creep into her heart. Whispers of doubt, of boredom, of longing for something different. Then came the attention from other men, wealthy, charming men who were physically present, who filled the loneliness Chike had left behind. At first, it was harmless conversation, a little flirting here and there. But slowly, Adaeze began to feel something she hadn't expected. Thrill. One evening, as Chike sat in his luxurious apartment in Malaysia, sipping coffee, dreaming of his son and wife, imagining the day he would finally hold them in his arms, his phone rang. It was a call from Nigeria, a call from a dear friend.
Bro, how far now? How you dey?
Oh, guy, I dey in the longest time. No see you. How you dey?
Chike said,
I'm fine, I dey, bro. I'm waiting. This one where you call me. Hope there's no problem.
Guy, there's no problem, but just say there's fire on the mountain.
Guy, now which one be fire on the mountain? Where's the fire? Where's the mountain?
the friend said.
Guy, now your wife, Adaeze. I no want tell you this to make you no be say I dey bring bad news. Adaeze has moved on. She dey see a lot of men these days. She dey flirt, Adaeze dey flirt. I don't know when last week you call her, but ground no dey level. You need to come back home.
Chike was shocked.
My Adaeze. It can't be.
He froze.
What? That's impossible, my wife. The mother of my child. No way, guy, no way. Don't call me again. Don't call my line again. If you must talk shit about my wife.
Immediately, Chike called the Daisy's line. No answer. He called again. No answer. He repeatedly called her line. There was no answer. Worriedly and scared, Chike decided to call Adaisy's mom. After several missed calls from her, Adaisy's mom picked up her call. And Chike asked her if what he was hearing was the truth. And the woman said, with a shaky and a heavy voice, "My son, whatever you think you've heard is the truth. I love my daughter so much, and I want the best for her. Please don't take whatever she's said or whatever she's doing to heart. Forgive her. Daisy has found someone she loved, and she wants to be with the person. I know it sounds very stupid and very greedy of us, but please forgive my daughter so that she can follow the love of her life." Immediately, Chike felt this shock and sensation from his whole body, like though he was feeling paralyzed. The phone he was holding slipped from his hands. His heart was pounding. His visions became blurred. He couldn't breathe. He was gasping for air. This couldn't be real. It has to be a nightmare. Days turned into weeks. Chike stopped eating, stopped sleeping. His once vibrant home became a prison. The walls closing in on him. He scrolled through pictures of his son, his wife, his fingers running over the screen, as if he could touch the life that had slipped away. Then came the darkest night of all. Chike sat on the floor of his bathroom, a bottle of whiskey beside him, cigarette smoke thick in the air. His phone was clutched in his trembling hands. He has drank and smoked to the extent that there was no life left in him again. His mind was loud with dangerous thoughts.
Will this pain ever go away? Will it stop? Would it be better if I disappear? I feel like dying. Life has no meaning at all.
But then, in the silence of the night, something broke through. His mother's voice, warm and firm, echoing in his heart. A lion does not die in the wilderness. He rises. Rise up, my son. With what little strength he had left, he reached out to his best friend. The next morning, his friend took the first flight to Malaysia. His friend didn't let him sink. He dragged Chike out of his misery, forced him to eat, to talk, to step outside. With time, with love, with a relentless push of those who refused to let him down, Chike began to heal. Slowly, painfully, but he did heal. A year later, Chike's business flourished like never before. His wealth multiplied, and he built magnificent mansions. His resilience in him respect, admiration, and success beyond his imagination. Meanwhile, Adaisy's dream life turned to dust. The man she left Chike for, he was nothing but a fraud. His love was temporary, his wealth a lie. As struggles crept into her new marriage, regret clawed at Adaisy's heart. She realized too late what she had thrown away. One day, she sat in her parents' home, sobbing continuously. "I made a mistake. I want my husband back. I want my son. to know his real father. Her parents hesitated but eventually approached Adaize's family, begging for forgiveness. But when Chike's mother saw them, her eyes burned with anger. "Get out of my house!" she thundered. "You betrayed my son. You returned back the bride price, and now you want to crawl back in? Never!" Adaize's mom fell down to her knees, pleading, "Please forgive my daughter for the sake of your grandchild." But Chike's mother was unmoved. "I will accept my grandson, but not your daughter. That child will grow up knowing the truth, that his father was a lion and his mother was the one who abandoned him. Get out!" Chike's mom continued to shout. The decision was now in Chike's hands. Would he forgive Adaeze and take her back? Or would he walk away, leaving the past behind? As he stood before Adaeze, 1,000 emotions whirled in his heart. The woman he had once loved more than life itself stood before him, broken, remorseful. But the man she left, he was gone. A new Chike had risen, and this time he would decide his own fate.